I'm Jessica Lombard, Associate Superintendent, and this is Huntley 158 Today. I'm very excited about our guest today. He is no stranger to our show, but today he's taking on a new role. Today we have Dr. Scott Rowe, former principal of Huntley High School and now Superintendent of District 158. Welcome, Scott. How are you?
Very much. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Well, Scott, you've been with the district now. You'll be going into your 8th year next year. You've been principal at both Marlowe and at Huntley High School. Why don't you tell our viewers and our guests a little bit more about yourself and your background?
Sure. Well, I'm originally from Missouri. I went to Missouri State University in Springfield and started teaching in Missouri. I was a history teacher. Moved to Illinois with my wife, Melissa, and we've been in Huntley School District actually since 2005. As a resident, I worked in McHenry and took an assistant principal role in McHenry at the elementary District 15 as an assistant principal at one of the middle schools. And the opportunity arose to come work at Marlowe. And it was one that Huntley 158 was a school district that I've had my eye on ever since I moved up here. We chose to live in the community for a reason, and to work in the community in which I live has always been something that's very important to me. So when Marlowe's principalship became available, I jumped at the opportunity, and fortunately things worked out. And ever since I've been here, it's really been a wonderful experience. And each year that goes by, the more entrenched I become and our family becomes in the community. It really is the district that I always hoped for myself, and as well as for my family. My kids love being at Legee, and they love being part of the district. And it's I know some people are a little nervous about always being seen in the community, but it's something that we've embraced, and I love seeing our kids out and bumping into high school and old former middle school students who, whether it be at Dairy Mart or wherever, it's cool, and I really enjoy Huntley 158. It's been wonderful to me, and I'm so excited about this next opportunity.
Scott, you talked about it was the district you moved to and hoped to work for after you moved into the community. What were some of those things that drew you to Huntley School District? Well,
working here now and becoming so connected to the work that we're doing, it really is a destination school district. I speak with families all of the time who are moving to our community specifically so that their students can be involved in our school district. That's something I'm very proud of. Back in 2005, we were a very different district. Mm-hmm. We were emerging and going through a lot of change. But at the same time, all of the positives that we're experiencing now, the writing was on the wall. It was a growing community, a rapidly growing community. The schools are absolutely beautiful, and we go to great lengths to keep them in tip-top shape for our students and our families. And that's one of the attractions initially, just from aesthetically. And then once you get in and start to see and learn not only the great programs and opportunities that our students have, but the great people that our kids get to work with. Mm-hmm. That's really what makes our school district special. And that's really, now that I've been an employee in the school district for 7 years, that's what keeps me. It's the people of our school district that makes it special, and that makes our experience for our students very unique.
Scott, you've talked in a variety of different venues about how you've always had the goal to be a superintendent, and this is the absolute best place that you're going to be able to step in and take on that role. What was some of the things that drove you to wanting to be a superintendent, and especially probably a lot of the things you just talked about here in our community?
Well, it's interesting because interesting for me because I come from a family of educators. My dad is a retired superintendent. My mom is a retired kindergarten teacher of 35 years. My sister is a principal at a 5-6 building in Missouri. And graduating from high school education was the last thing I wanted to do. I wanted to do my own thing. But after a couple of years of college, it was apparent this is where I belonged. And so I pursued the education degree. And as I got involved in my first 2 schools in teaching, leadership was something that I was drawn to. So at first it was student leadership and student activities and coaching that then drew me into the impact that I can have on a larger scale. So I took my first assistant principalship and began to really see the school and from the big picture. And as I've continued to move on, you know, it impacting our students and our organization at the highest level is where I really see the most positive impact I can have on our school and our community, and that's really has driven me. I enjoy the public relations side of education and engaging with the community about our education system, and as well as continuing to develop the quality programs and push initiatives from a wide variety at the highest level. And it really has been a motivator to engage in all facets of the educational system rather than just one school. I've had an unbelievable experience at both Marlowe and Huntley High School. And I'm very excited about what lies ahead.
Scott, I know July 1st is just around the corner, but you've already started transitioning while still doing those roles and things that you have to do as the principal of Huntley High School. You've also started building relationships and some other things. Can you tell us a little bit about how you've started that transition to your new role?
Absolutely. So I've begun by taking tours of the schools in which I don't have as much experience. Obviously, I know everyone at the high school. Mm-hmm. It's been 5 years since I've been at Marlowe, so there's a lot of new faces there. So I'm taking tours of each of the buildings with the principal and sometimes assistant principal when they're available. And my goal is to meet every single teacher in the district prior to Halloween. Relationships are at the foundation of what makes a good school district. And the relationships that teachers have with students is the most important aspect of student learning. But on the next level, the relationships that we have with one another as team members in support of our students drives that learning and makes our school district special. And it's important to me that be the first step that I take to make the relationships with the teachers and support staff and other administrators who make up our team. So I'm beginning with that. I visited a couple of schools, and that will continue. I'll get to every school prior to the end of the school year. And that time so far has been very not only enlightening in terms of some of the aspects of our school district that I don't have as much experience with in terms of getting to know and understand elementary at a really deep level, but just the excitement in our elementary schools. You walk in, it just brings a smile to your face to see the kids and how excited they are to be at school, and the love that our elementary teachers are giving to our students, and teachers at all levels. But to see that is really invigorating. It's energizing, and I've really enjoyed the experience thus far. It's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun at the same time, and I look forward to that continuing and to meeting everyone in the district.
Now, not specifics here, but what do you see in the near future for the District of 158?
Well, I think fortunately for us, we have a very strong strategic plan. So that plan has 2 more years before it is up for potential renewal. So it wouldn't make much sense to change the path that we're currently on with a very strong plan, a very strong administrative team, and a great school board. So we're going to continue on with the plan that we have in place and begin thinking about what lies beyond that plan. I think that we will continue our path towards innovation. Education reform is something that's extremely important to me. Having our students walk on the conveyor belt from course to course and grade to grade, and education becoming potentially a mundane experience is not something I want for our students. The experience of learning is one that should be exciting, and it's one that should be extremely engaging, and our kids need to take that ownership and not rely so much on the teacher to deliver knowledge to them, but guide them to that knowledge. And we're going to continue that path of innovation. We've expanded the blended learning program at the high school to beyond our wildest dreams, to where more than 2/3 of our students at the high school are taking at least one blended course. And the outcome has been that transition of ownership of learning to the student and the flexibility in their day. And now with the competency-based education pilot, we're looking at education a little bit differently at the high school, and it's been really interesting. I'm excited to see where that goes. And then to take some of the innovation that as I'm touring the elementary schools, and I'm seeing the difference in flexible seating. Our students are not sitting in rows or even clusters and desks in every room. That innovation is happening already, and our student experience is the focus. So we'll be, to keep a long story short, the path that we're on is a really good one, and we're going to continue to innovate as we move forward.
Well, Dr. Rowe, I remember a number of years ago sitting in that interview with you for Marlowe, and the things that you said, and to see those roll out at Marlowe, and to see your vision and your character and the things that you believe that are best for kids roll out at Huntley High School. I'm super excited to see those things continue for all of our students at District 158. So on behalf of myself and just everybody here in the community, welcome as our new superintendent, and we're really excited to see where we go into the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us at Huntley 158 today, where it's all students, always.